really useful if you're actually doing hunting and stuff, because you can still use your fingers and not lose too much heat. But same with the thumb. The thumb will bend back and put back over, and it's got a little magnetic bit here which will go back onto there and holds it back so your fingers can stay out without that flapping in the way in the wind or whatever, which is brilliant. Another pair of socks, just very, very basic socks, because you never know what you're going to come up against. A sort of Russian style hat. This I use in the colder weather when I'm sleeping as well. I fold the front down over my face, and it just takes the edge off, which is absolutely brilliant. But at least it covers quite a lot of your face, and it's also adjustable on the bottom. So if you're wearing the balaclava, you can loosen it off a bit so it's not too tight and all that lot. Just a basic camo top, just a t-shirt, pretty much. That's pretty much it clothes-wise. The idea is that I'll be wearing what I'm wearing, and I've got layers that go on top, which will supplement what I'm wearing. So effectively, whatever I'm in, I can go straight off in that and not have a problem. And if I need to wash things, because it's layers, you can strip layers off, wash them, and have the rest on, and not lose too much. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think that's the minimum amount of clothing I'd want to take in the UK in the winter, and obviously this is set up for the winter at the minute. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, saying that, full set of waterproofs. These are just Gore-Tex, actually issue waterproofs. There's the top, and there's the bottoms. Waterproofs are really helpful. Chose that over a poncho because I've already got the tarp and all the rest of the stuff that complement it in that respect. So yeah, all that was really left was just the waterproofs. And the way that they cover you can kind of roll around in the muck and not really have too much trouble. But yeah, that's pretty much them. Now, I'm not going to get this out. I'll show you this in another video. But this is an undersling for my hammock. It's made of duck down and a PU coated ripstop on the bottom, which is reflective like Mylar. I've also sewn 2-inch baffles right the way through, linear and horizontal, and it goes a bit like a pod. It will clip round you. But like I say, I've got some photos and that lot which I'll put on the video or put in another video so you can see that. But yeah, basically, just to sort of show you a little bit from the edge, little tease. This is basically it. This is the top, which is just a ripstop. This is the bottom. These are loops that go all the way around it and close it right up. I went out the other day in something like -4, and I was absolutely toasted warm. And I'd say you could go quite a bit further. I didn't have it done like that, so you know I could certainly get more out of it. But that's, if you're using a hammock, you need something like that, because you'll feel the cold in your back if you don't. And obviously the advantage of that is that it goes right round. So that with your sleeping bag, you really ain't got too much trouble. So that's actually it for the top section. And the bottom is in a dry bag, as it should be. 1, 2, 3. So, peg set, which goes with the tarp. It's got a bit of cordage in there and just basic plastic pegs. There's not a lot to show there really. It just kind of is what it is. Again, you'll see this in another video, but this is my tarp. It's designed for the hammock, and just goes over. It's got all your sort of your bits on it and reinforcements where it needs to come from. And that's made by Temp. And alongside that is the hammock, which I'm not going to get out again, but it's twin layer ripstop. I've obviously modified it to accommodate the undersling, but it takes a huge amount of weight. It'll take something like 250 kilos. All the ropes are all built in, and I've used it loads. So, yeah, it's fantastic. Not showing any signs of wear at all, to be honest. I'm going to say everything should really be kept in dry bags, particularly where it's near the bottom. So, this in here. This is a sleeping bag. It's a Gillette, extreme light 1200, and this is a synthetic. I use a synthetic in combination with the down on the basis that synthetics can take the wet a bit better. So if there was a problem with the down, at least I've still got that. Whilst it's more bulky than it kind of needs to be, it covers that area for those conditions, and the versatility is what's important to me. So that's why that's in there. But to go with that, you'll probably call it a luxury, but I have a pillow. With the hammock I find a pillow really helpful, particularly under your neck. It just stops stops your neck getting creaked and that lot in the night. It makes quite a big difference to the quality of the sleep, which for me is pretty vital. And a Thermalite reactor, which is just a sleeping bag liner, means you don't have to clean the sleeping bag as much, because you can clean that, but also it'll add a few degrees onto your temperature if it's really cold. As I said, I think when I went out recently, I didn't use this last time I went out, but it could make a bit of difference and get me a bit further into the temperatures. So that's really it, to be honest. That's pretty much all I've got in there, without taking the medical kit apart. But yeah, I suppose the bag itself, whilst I've covered it a bit, it's just basically it's 88 litres. It's Highlander Proforce, and it's alright thick material, DPM. The zips are absolutely enormous on it. The only place where it's vulnerable is on this zip around the bottom. If that went, fortunately they have put buckles on here which pull up around it and kind of give it a bit of support where it's needed. But yeah, you just got your little loops on the front. It's got a rigid back system in here, and plenty of cushioning. A lot of cushioning. The big wings that sit on the front, a big bit of pad in there. As I say, for me, kind of overdoing the pack size I find better, just because it means I can balance the load a bit better of what I'm carrying. So yeah, that's about it really. Like I say, the reason I wanted to, go through this was because I just see a lot of people who haven't got the experience of the kit that they got to know whether it does or doesn't work. And this kit's been developed out of trial and error, which is quite a vital difference. And whilst, there's a lot there, and whilst I ain't covered everything, I've covered what's important to me personally. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you all, that was all. And yeah, take it or leave it. Hopefully there's something in there that you find, that's a bit different and maybe beneficial. Hopefully I can give, I've given some sort of knowledge over that'll help someone else. But yeah, that's it. Good luck.